I'm here. I just got out of the bathroom. I'm just trying to look at a few things quickly. I'm gonna get this done quickly though. I also still need to open up YouTube Studio on my phone actually, so trying to make this a bit ASAP. Okay, I think I kind of got it. All right, yeah, we're running. I'm actually wasting a lot of time. Let me open up YouTube Studio. It's already opening, so. Okay, it's open. Just try to close these off. Aw, man. Yeah, things are running slow because I use my laptop for various things, actually. Because I kind of forgot, like, since haven't been streaming for a whole week, I forgot I can kind of alternate on my iPad, but I've been doing it on my laptop the moment I started. But I'll be for real, like, I think ever since I got home from work earlier, that's when I was like, I feel like I haven't been here for like a little bit of a while. Cause I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I haven't been away for like less than a week. It felt like at least 2 weeks I was gone. But like my last stream was like literally like a whole week ago, but it still felt like 2 weeks. Cause I think my 4 days out of town felt very long. Or well, let's be for real. Actually, it was 5 technical days out of town, but it was a whole lot. I feel like I said this once before, but hold on, I'm getting my bag. But like, July was like a busy month for me personally, and it wasn't just busy for me, but it was busy kind of for the rest of the family for personal reasons that like we were kind of unable to do lots of any other things other than like family reasons, because we had a lot of family visits and family plans that took up our entire month schedule. But since this month is over practically, that means I'm kind of free now to do like almost anything, because like I had a lot of surprise visits from family members who I haven't seen in a very long time, which is kind of nice actually, because I actually haven't seen them in a very long time and they really wanted to see me, and I finally got to have that happen. And you know, other personal stuff that happened with like the rest of the Venture fam, and I think I can go like personal now with what all that was, because it did actually impact what times I would be streaming, and sometimes I had to postpone them or cancel them. Because it's been a real hectic month for just me personally. Last month it kind of was too, but that was mainly for like school reasons. But you know, it was only stressful for like the first half of the month, and then like by the second half of the month, that's when things started to get like better and stuff, because I started work again. I was home again for the summer. I had less homework on my plate. And then that's when people started to visit us, and we had some family events, and then it kind of ended off with our Mexico trip. And I think next month should be like kind of easy going, because I have lots of family members, or like I have lots of cousins going back to school, so we don't really have much planned. But like I don't start school till like mid-September, so I have like a whole lot of time, and I'm going to be mostly spending that whole lot of time just doing work. So I don't want to just talk about, you know, how Mexico was. I want to talk about like maybe my entire month, if I'll be honest. So like, I think this started back on maybe sometime in like, actually it was on the first week of July. Like 4th of July weekend. I woke up to a text from Papa Pixie saying that I had cousins from France that I haven't seen since 2023. They were flying over to the country for the first time in a few years to visit us. And I was kind of excited for that, actually, because my aunt actually, she visits so often, so I see her a lot ever since I was little, but I barely ever get to see her children, because like they barely come here. But they have been to America once before, so I've seen them, and then I went to see them in France in their household, and then they actually came over here. So yeah, they came over here to visit us, and they stayed here for 4th of July. And then things started to get a little more hectic. So I'll have you know, my pack of cousins that came over during 4th of July weekend, that was on Papa Pixie's side. And then other family things came up. So that same week that my cousins came over during 4th of July weekend, my brother flew out of town to stay with cousins on Mama Pixie's side, just to stay with them for like a few days before they would fly here. They were actually flying here the next week after he came in. So they flew here too, actually. So when they came here, my brother came along with them. This was on Mama Pixie's side, and they only came here for one reason. So one of my aunts, who is Mama Pixie's sister, had like a family fashion show, because she owns this kind of fashion brand. I'm not gonna name it, because actually that can lead to doxing. So she owns this fashion brand, and like for its 6th anniversary, they held a fashion show, and it was like some kind of family event that happened a few Sundays ago. My cousins on Mama Pixie's side flew over for this fashion show. And my other cousins on Papa Pixie's side, they stayed for the show, actually. So they viewed it too. And then after the fashion show was over, they stayed here for about a few more days just to hang out with family. So that Tuesday night that I was supposed to play Muse Dash, I had to cancel it because I went to visit them that Tuesday night, because they were gonna leave the next day. So I went to spend like the rest of the day with them. So I had to like postpone the part 2 Muse Dash stream or whatever. Or was it part 1 or part 2? I can't really remember anymore. And then they flew back home the next day. But so that was my cousins on Mama Pixie side. They were only here for a few days, less than a week, just for my aunt's fashion show. But my cousins on Papa Pixie side still stayed in the country because they were going to actually stay in the country for like the rest of the summer. So then that leaves us with whatever happened. So after they left, Papa Pixie told me that another set of my cousins from his side were coming over here because they never flew to America before. Like, this is like their first time, I think, outside the continent. I don't know, actually, I don't know, but this was their first time in America. I visited them before, like once before in Europe. I've been to their household in Europe like a couple years ago, but this was their first time in America. So yeah, so the week after my cousins on Mama Pixie side left, they flew over here mainly because they wanted to have a taste of Chicago. So they flew over here, and I saw them on last Monday. So like the day after my collab stream with Kevin, they came over here for dinner. And we were just talking. Like, we were just like, catching up since we haven't seen each other in like years. And then that's when Papa Pixie told me that they're going to be going to like, downtown the next day. And they needed like, some kind of like venture guide to help them out. So I offered to help in, and I did that. So like the next day we technically did go downtown, and I went with Papa Pixie and a few of my family members on his side. And it was their first time, so I went with them. And that was the day before I actually flew to Mexico. So this was like last Tuesday. And there are ads. Okay. I'll give that time. Actually drink some water. Okay, that's good. Oh shoot! Oh no. A few things fell out of my desk. I got it. Okay, well, I could talk a bit more about like the whole month. I guess some time has passed for the ad. Let me move some of my figs. Okay. Okay. That's better. Alright, so like after that, so given that like I was in like Mexico for a few days, and you might want to know like why I technically did go. You might want to know, what was the point of this trip? Was this like just like a regular summer vacation and stuff like that? Well, kind of. A portion of the reason why we did technically go to Mexico was just because we needed a summer vacation. That was like one small reason, but there was kind of more than that. So I think I'll kind of explain the family line on Papa Pixie's side. So Papa Pixie has like 5 siblings. Yeah, Papa Pixie has 5 siblings. Only one of his siblings, only one, he only has one other sibling that lives in the country. All of his other siblings live overseas. So his only sibling that lives in the country, who actually doesn't live that far from me, he was turning 50. He turned 50 just last week. So he wanted to celebrate the milestone with his close family. It wasn't a big family trip like I would always do. Like I would normally do like family trips with like both him and then like lots of people on Mama Pixie's side. But that wasn't the case. Since lots of my family on Papa Pixie's side don't live in the country, it was like a small pack of us going to Mexico to celebrate Uncle Pixie's birthday. So it was my entire house, Uncle Pixie's family, which was just his wife and daughter. He has a small family. It was just his wife and daughter. And both of his wife's sisters came along for this trip. So like Auntie Pixie came along and she brought her 2 sisters. So 2 other Auntie Pixies and my little cousin. Those were the amount of people that were with us on the flight to Mexico, actually. So we typically did just go only for Uncle Pixie's birthday, but you know, we also wanted to go for like some kind of vacation since it was summer. Like we really did go for a summer vacation, but mainly just for Uncle Pixie's 50th birthday. So that leaves us one question. What happened to both sets of my cousins from Papa Pixie's side that flew to America? Well, here's the case. They technically didn't pack, or like either they didn't pack enough, or the way they planned their flight here, Mexico, they didn't have enough ready to get for like Mexico to be a part of the mix for the flight, or just to get there. They just didn't really have Mexico planned for their trip, so they didn't go. They didn't go to Mexico. So instead, the first pack of cousins that came from France during 4th of July weekend, Papa Pixie sent them to stay with Grandma Pixie, who also didn't go. I can't really remember why, but I don't know why. I think she just didn't really choose to go. But Grandma Pixie currently lives like a little bit down, like south of the state. She lives south of the state. So Papa Pixie he drove my set of cousins down to stay with her till we got back. As of right now, he did not pick them up yet, but my brother did tell me that they're staying in the country for the rest of the month until we get back to school. So they're staying here for a few more weeks. But as far as I know, they're still down with Grandma Pixie. And then my other set of cousins, the ones who came just last week, I'll have you know they came all the way from Belgium. From what I remembered, for a few days they were staying at a hotel near where I work. But they're not really going to be staying in the state for too long. They're traveling to like other states because they're traveling around the country to visit family in like various states. So as of right now, they're not in the state anymore. I think they're in California right now. So yeah, they wanted to stay in the state for a few more days to celebrate Uncle Pixie's birthday, but after they found out that he was actually going to be out of town for his birthday, they decided to just leave the state a bit early. But they did actually visit Grandma Pixie before they left. Like Grandma Pixie on Papa Pixie's side, you know. So Papa Pixie's mom. So before they left the state, they went down to visit Grandma Pixie and my other set of cousins before they left the state. So as of right now, they're not in the state anymore. They're in the West. But my French set of cousins, they're still down south. And I don't know when we're picking them up, but you know, we're gonna see them eventually. And there's a small chance I might visit Grandma Pixie. It's really unsure. Last time I did visit her was on her birthday in March. So okay. So yeah. So Wednesday was the day we technically left for Mexico, and it was kind of a long day trying to get there, or maybe getting back was the longer day. Getting to there was not that long of a day. It took like half of the day, cause like we technically flew out of Chicago at 5 in the morning. So how it was, by midnight, I was just watching a bit of some anime. And I just took a quick shower before we had to leave. We left the vault at 2 in the morning. And then we got to the airport at 3. Like 3:30. 3:30 was when we got to the airport. And our flight took off at 5 in the morning. But it was a connection flight, so we took 2 flights to get to Mexico. The first flight was from like Chicago to Philadelphia. And that was from 5 to 6? Or it was from 5 to 6, but since Philadelphia is in a different time zone, it was technically 7 when we landed, but it was really 6. So our next flight was about a whole hour later. So we took off at 8 EST, 8 a.m. EST, 7 a.m. CST. I landed to Cancun at somewhere around 11:30 CST, 11:30 CST. Like, cause Cancun's CST, so I went from CST to EST to CST. So yeah, it was like 11:30 when we were there. So it was kind of like a 4-hour flight. We got there around 11:30. I think by 12:30 was when we got to the resort that we were staying in. And then we spent the rest of the day doing resort activities and stuff. I posted it all on Twitter and Blue Sky, actually. Like, I posted all I updated like almost everything. And I posted at least like one good picture a day. Like, I think I'm gonna go through all the tweets I put out. Let me find them. I did post when I was like about to take off, and I just showed like a picture of my VIXIE card right next to me, like in the plane, because I sat in the window seat. I actually sat in the window seat in all the flights. Okay, so let me get the seats up. Okay, so the first tweet I posted out was, "What's up, venturers? I'm about to fly out for my trip to Mexico. Don't burn down the venture vault while I'm gone. Kevin, looted. I'll be back on Monday to talk about it all on stream. Okay. And it was just a video of my VIXIE card. And then I also posted, like, showed, like, the view of, like, the window. So that was when I took off at like 5 in the morning. And then I quote retweeted / reposted about, like, you know, when I landed, and I actually posted a picture of like the view of the ocean from outside my room. Not from the balcony view, but like from like right by my room door. So like I posted, man, my Twitter like refreshed itself. Come on. Okay, let me find it. Okay. I said, I made it to Mexico safe and sound for my vacation. I got a nice view of the ocean, too, from where I am. We already had lunch, so I'm spending the next couple hours catching up on everything that I missed out on my online ventures. And that was as of when I tweeted it. So the next day, we did regular pool activities, but it was also Uncle Pixie's birthday. So we spent one half of the day just swimming, then the second half of the day having a good dinner, like having some dinner. So the next thing I posted was, day 2 of Mexico was a success. Today was Uncle Pixie's 50th birthday, and I put in parentheses the main reason we're even on this trip. So I spent the majority of the day in the hot tub, then I had a special dinner with the Venture fam. I'm spending the rest of tomorrow to do just regular resort activities. And I posted a picture of me wearing a white dress and pink shoes, and you can see my charger sticking out with like a little Kuromi charm, which is my Kuromi phone charm. It was just hanging off my phone. So that was day 2. Day 3, we really didn't do much. It was just regular resort stuff. So here's what I said in the for the 3rd day in Mexico. Good morning and what's up, venturers? I forgot to send an update yesterday. I'm flying back home from Mexico tomorrow. So basically, I forgot to tweet something on Friday, so I tweeted it on Saturday morning. So I said, I forgot to send an update yesterday. I'm flying back home from Mexico tomorrow, so today's my last full day of activities. New stream schedule will come out tomorrow, which happened yesterday. And I posted a picture of a bird that I saw while I was eating lunch. It was kind of funny. I actually like that bird. I saw a lot of those birds at the resort, but it was a funny bird. I did post it in I posted a picture of it in the vault. It was kind of funny. And then here comes, okay, so yeah, this was what I tweeted yesterday, right before I left the resort. Good morning and what's up, venturers? I'm flying back home from Mexico today. I'm still unsure on the flight time. Papa Pixie refuses to tell me, but I'll surely send an update on that. New stream schedule later today. And then I posted a picture of what I took the day before during dinner. It was just a view of the resort and the ocean. I just took that picture during dinner, so now I'm just gonna talk about how I got just getting back home. So our checkout time for our rooms was at 11 o'clock. So we got to the lobby by 11 o'clock to return our keys and to pay the last few things. A taxi got here 30 minutes later to take us all the way to the airport. And it took us about 30 to 40 minutes to get to the airport. So by 12:15-ish, we were already at the airport. And then we did the regular stuff. This TSA, I'll be honest, was kind of more stressful getting back here than getting to Mexico. And I think I'll kind of explain why. So we did the regular procedures with the TSA. And I had my backpack with me. I have a RWBY backpack, actually. So my RWBY backpack was... Actually, it was entirely filled with sandals. I had sandals in my RWBY backpack. And I didn't have any other place to put my laptop and iPad, so I kept those in that bag. And, it went through the security. And then I passed by. I was obviously clear. But then, it was just the materials that was kind of an issue. So for one thing, Sister Pixie has these kind of Beats earbuds, those little small Beats earbuds. They were put on standby because of the certain metal that's used in the case specifically. It's just a certain kind of metal that was used inside the case, that they had to put it on standby because it was kind of they were kind of suspicious of it during the screening. They also had to put my purse on standby. That meant that I think it was mainly because I had some devices inside the purse. So they put my purse on standby. They put your headphones on standby. I had to go through again because they were apparently you can't keep your devices. You have to keep your devices on a separate bin away from the backpack. So I had to take my laptop and my iPad out of my backpack because I did not know that they had to be in their own bin. Because getting there, I kept it in the bin. No, I kept it in the backpack, and they obviously went through. But in Mexico, their TSA is different, and I never actually considered that because I didn't fly in a very long time. So I had to go back again, get the backpack away from the whole screening thing, and then take the laptop and the iPad out of the bag and put it in their own bin. Obviously they went through, the backpack went through, everything went through, but they put my purse and her case on standby. So they went through my purse, and then they were looking through, like, the first thing they looked at was my AirPods. They just took one look at it for like 3 seconds, and then they put it back in. Then they look at my wallet. They put it back in, and there's ads. Oh boy. Okay, so for some reason my laptop just disconnects from the Wi-Fi. I don't know what happened. All my other devices are okay, but like, I don't know what happened. My devices were just my laptop randomly disconnected from the Wi-Fi. But, like, the Wi-Fi is okay. Trust me, the Wi-Fi is okay. All my other devices were connected, but my laptop was like randomly disconnected for some weird reason. Weird. Well, luckily, ads were just rolling by when it happened. The problem was, I don't really know. I really don't know, actually. Like, I legit do not know. But it's fine now. But I can restate what was happening. Luckily, ads stopped me anyway, so... Okay, so basically, I'm gonna just restate what was happening at TSA. But I'm gonna put it in short terms to make it go quickly. My laptop and iPad were in a backpack that was filled entirely with my sandals. I had to pass through again through TSA because apparently I had to put them in their own bin. So I took them out and put them in their own bin. I went through again. Obviously I went through, but Sister Pixie's little Beats buds were put on standby because of a certain metal that was like inside the case. Well, certain metal that they use for the case. And my purse was actually also put on standby. So when they got my purse, they were looking through inside. So they were looking at my AirPods for like 5 seconds. They put it back in there. They were looking at my wallet for about like 5 seconds. They put it back in there. They take out scissors, my personal nail scissors, that I use for when I'm painting my nails or like trying to cut it. Apparently they weren't allowed through. They had to be checked in when we were putting the other suitcases away. I did not know that. So they confiscated it. Luckily, I had other ones back in the vault. Those ones I just carry with me just because I knew I needed them in Mexico. Well, like, since I never flew in years, and I didn't actually know how foreign TSA systems work, because I'm more familiar with like the American kind of TSA. I did not know that those scissors were not like permitted through TSA. Like I did not know, because they were permitted in my local airport, but not in the Cancun airport. Like, I legit didn't know, because technically, since they resemble a knife, they weren't allowed in TSA, like over there. But they were allowed in my local airport, because I kept them in my purse in that local airport, and they went through TSA. Not in Cancun, though. Since I was supposed to have it checked, not in TSA, though, they confiscated it. I didn't make a big deal out of it, because I generally did not know. I'm like, oh, well, my bad. I did not know. I knew I had other ones at home, so I just played it off. It wasn't a big deal for me. I brought them specifically just for my nails for the trip, because I knew I was going to do them during the trip. I just didn't know that they wouldn't go through in this TSA. Like, I legit did not know. Since TSAs in different places are different, I didn't put that into consideration, mainly because I didn't fly in a very long time. So I'm putting that into consideration now. But it does make sense why they had to confiscate my scissors. Because, like, when I told, like, Papa Pixie didn't know about this. Like, he knew, he did see that my purse was put on standby, but he didn't know the exact reason. When, they saw that my purse was, my Mama Pixie saw my purse on standby. She was, like, standing right next to me as we both watched, as we both watched the officer, like, go through my purse. I was slightly nervous. Like, just slightly. But, like, not entirely. Because I knew I wasn't trying, I knew, like, other than the scissors, I really wasn't carrying anything dangerous. Like, the only thing that I knew that I was carrying in the purse was my AirPods, my wallet, a fan. What else did I carry? I carried yeah, my charger was in there. Yeah, my charger was in there. They're not children's scissors, and I don't use children's scissors for nails. They're not too strong. Children's scissors aren't too strong. And plus, I don't think children's scissors will also be permitted because they kind of also still do resemble a knife. I think scissors are, as a whole, aren't permitted. And I don't use them because they aren't strong for nails. So, yeah, like, the only thing I knew I had in that purse was like my charger, my AirPods, my wallet, my fan. I forgot that my scissors were actually in there. I didn't know that I brought them to the trip, but at that moment I forgot I had them in there. Not because I knew it was like, I didn't know that it was like it wasn't a bad thing. I didn't know that it was a bad thing to keep them in there for TSA. Like, I thought they would go through. But at the moment, I forgot that they were even in there. So, like, you know, Mama Pixie and we were just watching the officer, like, take out things from from my purse. And, you know, at one point I was kind of scared because I was actually concerned on, like, what I was technically carrying that would be, like, considered, you know, a bit, like, you know, questionable. But at the same time, I knew I wasn't really trying to do anything bad, so. But then when I noticed the scissors, I'm like, oh, that does make a lot more sense. And Mama Pixie's like, are you serious right now? They gave me my bag back, like, soon after that, but they did confiscate the scissors. At one point, I was kind of sad, just kind of, but not entirely, because, one, it makes sense, to be fair. Because they kind of do resemble a weapon, or they can be used as a weapon. And two, I have a lot of them at home, so, like, it's not that big of a deal. I was really just trying to, like, you know, be safe, and I did not know that it was gonna go through. That wasn't gonna go through. Like, that was the only thing I had with TSA. But then we have Sister Pixie's beats. They did have to look at them again, but they did go through. But they did have to put them on standby. But, you know, they went through soon after, so we're good. And then we waited, like, 2 hours? We waited 2 hours on my flight, actually. Technically 3. We waited about 3 hours. Ish. Because yeah. We got there at 12. Our flight was technically supposed to leave at 2:50, but we didn't leave till another 40 minutes later for whatever reason, because boarding started a whole lot later. People started boarding the plane pretty late, so we left like 40 minutes later than planned. I was supposed to take off at like 2:50. We took off at 3:35. I had the window seat as usual. Then after we took off, I just took a little nap for about 20 to 30 minutes. It was just a 20 to 30 minute like nap because I had lots of things downloaded that I was gonna watch. So after 20 to 30 minutes after takeoff, I watched 3 episodes of Camp Camp that I downloaded. Well, I was just rewatching it.